So we're talking about distractions, right?
Mm-hmm.
90% of the problems I find that clients have is that they get distracted with other things, right? The things that they have to
Absolutely.
do. And it could be the fact that they spend half an hour on their phone scrolling and not posting or something else. How do you handle that distraction for yourself? And how do you handle that distraction for others? Is it that you stay off social media? Like, what do you do? What are some techniques you teach people? And what do you do in your own practice?
Absolutely. At first, I'll start with myself because I'm the best example that I can give. What I do is I make a list of all my distractions.
Ooh.
Everything that distracts me. I'm like, nope, that distracts me. That distracts me. That distracts me. That distracts me. That, I like that, but that distracts me too. Like, I like that. I really like that, but it distracts me. So what I do is I give myself almost like a reward system. When I don't have any kids that I know of, but I don't have any kids anyway. So I can't really say that I do the parenting thing to a child, but I parent myself now. And so when we were kids, your mom or your dad, they said, clean the room, wash the dishes, take out the trash, and then we let you go hang out with your friends. But as adults, we stopped doing that to ourselves, right?
Mm.
So what I've learned is, to take the distractions that I enjoy and cut them off until I complete certain tasks, right? And then when I complete certain tasks, I give myself a window to enjoy my distractions, whatever they may be, whether it's going out, hanging out with friends, going to meet up with people socially, right? To just hang out and shoot the breeze, so to speak. Or whether it be watching Netflix, watching movies, you know what I mean? Things like that. Or even scrolling on social media, right? Because I'm human, I'm not perfect. But what I do is I take those distractions and I recognize, okay, this is a distraction, this is a distraction, this is a distraction. I will now give myself the chance to access these distractions once I complete this task. And when I complete the task, I eat the little distraction like a piece of chocolate, right? And then it motivates me to now get back on track, do what I got to do so I can go enjoy my little distraction, and then get back on track, do what I got to do so I can, that's kind of the system that I set up for myself. And I've been finding that it works extremely well because it allows me to have balance.
Hello, everyone, and thank you today for joining us for another episode of Entrepreneurial Truth. On today's episode, we have Michael Baptiste on, and Michael is going to share his journey, his experience, and how he got from where he was to where he is currently and where he's going. Michael, I'm going to start and just ask you to just start at the beginning and just walk us through your journey.
Wholeness, everyone, and absolutely, Kessie, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for allowing me to come and share my story. So for those of you who don't know me, never heard of me before, my name is Michael Baptiste. Some people call me Michael Over-Deliver Baptiste. And I was born to a single mother, teenage mother, while my father was in prison, born in Miami, Florida, in the inner city of Miami, Florida. So I grew up without a lot of resources, and this gave me a fire to have more, to achieve more, because I grew up without having these things, right? And that fire inside of me became an entrepreneurial fire that I had to find a way to fulfill, so to speak. So I recognized that I wasn't going to make the traditional path, but basketball would be my way. So I earned this college scholarship. And when I got to college, I thought I was going to the NBA, and then I got hurt, and then I had to have surgery. And then I saw my dreams start to slip away, and then I recovered. And then I had a second surgery a year later, or a few months later. And then I realized, like, I'm not going to the NBA. Like, I'm not going anymore. I got to find another way to be successful. So that began another search for how can I get to a space where I can have the NBA lifestyle, right? And make NBA money without having to damage my body in an NBA way, right? So then that search led me to finding digital marketing. I discovered people were making money online. They were making millions of dollars online. I said, what is that? Is that really possible? And I was desperate. I took a chance at it, and lo and behold, on my first day, I made $20 in 10 minutes. And that's when I was like, okay, this is the way. And I made a decision. I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. And I'm going to share this with as many people as possible who may also be searching for a way to find success for themselves. And so that's kind of the origins of my story. There's a lot more to it, but that's the condensed, summarized version of my story.
I love it. I love it. And I want to
Thank
find
you.
out, you said in the first day, right, you made $20 in 10 minutes. Can you dive into that? What was that? What did you do?
Well, I can tell you what I did, but I think it's fair if I give you the story, right?
Yeah.
So, so I was a true story. I was at a party with friends, and I realized this party it's not going where I wanted to be. These friends are not going to lead me to where I want to go in life. I need new friends, and I need to end this party. So when you guys are finished, take me back to my college dorm rooms. And so I turn on the TV, late night infomercial comes on, and that's where I discovered, wow, this guy's making millions of dollars. At the time, I had $150 on me as a college student. So I said, here's $50. I'll buy it, whatever. The book comes in the mail a week later. When it comes in the mail, it said, put this right here in your computer. And I was like, what? Why wouldn't he tell me you have to have a computer to make money online? I don't have a computer. Why would he say that? Why would he say, hey, you have to have a computer to make money online? So when I got it, I'm like, I don't even have a computer. How am I going to do this? And I was like, okay, stop, Mike. Think for a second. Think. Bingo. The school's computer lab has computers. I'll just go there, use one of the computers like nobody knows, and I just, do it that way. So I go to the school's computer lab. Not a lot of people in there, maybe like 2 people, and there was like 20 empty computers and not many people in there. So I take the DVD, I put it in the disk drive. This is like old school back in like 2010? 2010. Yeah, 2010. That's when this was. Yeah, dinosaur years for the internet.
Right.
But yeah. So I put it in, and I watched the fast start. It said, hey, open up an affiliate account for a CPA network. CPA stands for cost per action, right? And it's basically a model where you sell somebody else's product or refer them a lead, and you get paid for that sale that you referred, or you get paid for that lead that you referred. So they had me sign up for one of these CPA offers or cost per action offers, right? It was like an insurance offer. I signed up for it, and they were like, just to show you that this method works, this is what you're gonna do. Open this up, do this, do that. And I was like, okay, wait, pause the video, take action. Okay, play the video. Now this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna do this and that, and then take this link right here and click this. And I said, okay, pause. And I took action, right? And then I went back again, and it was like, okay, now that you did that, you're gonna go here, put your email here, do this, and then bam, hit refresh on the screen, see if you made money. And I'm like, hey, look, man, I'm desperate. I'm not even gonna question the guy. Let me just do it. So I paused, do it, take action. And when I finished, I refreshed the screen, and the account went from $0 to $20. And I was like I jumped up, I screamed, I ran around, and I just went crazy because I'm like, yo, I found it. I found the way. I found a way that I'm going to finally make a way for myself, make a living for myself. I don't need a boss. I don't need a job. And I can do this for the rest of my life without having to, be anywhere, do anything that I don't want to do, so to speak. And so that was the moment for me where the monkey fell off of my back, as they call it.
Mm-hmm. And do you think it was your training that allowed you to be able to receive information and then take action?
Absolutely. Being an athlete has definitely helped me to be able to focus my mind on a certain task until it's complete. I will definitely give a lot of credit to me being an athlete. And the other part I would say is that just being coachable. You don't have to, for those who are watching, listening, you don't have to be an athlete to succeed with anything. It's just about being coachable and then having a mindset that you're going to follow through and overcome any challenge that shows up until you are successful. So yeah, hopefully that can help somebody out there listening.
And what's the difference between where you were then and where you are now?
Go ahead. You had another part to that question. I would say where I was then, I was in a space where I didn't know anything, and the only thing that I knew is that I didn't want to go back to the pain and suffering where I came from. And I knew that there was more to this world. There was more to this life because I'd seen it in college. And I wanted to taste what more was. And I wanted to experience what more was. But I didn't really know. I just had this idea. Right. And also back then, I would say I was I was a totally different version of myself in terms of my consciousness, which I'll share more about on this show. And that's where I was. Now where I'm at is I'm kind of, I won't say I'm fully on the other side, because I'm still kind of going up the mountain of my own journey, and I'm still writing the book of my life story, so to speak. However, I'm in a space now where I've been able to generate results, multiple six figures online. I've helped, a startup company that I was a co-founder of, and, have equity in, go from literally zero, like an idea, to earning over $20 million in sales, and actually completing an 8-figure exit, right? So I was a part of that from start to finish. And I have that on my resume, so to speak. I've helped many clients around the world actually generate millions of dollars online. And there's people that I still follow. I still, talk to them today, and they're super successful now. And they started from zero with me and my help. And I'll also say that I've evolved in my consciousness, because a lot of the things that I desired to do, such as travel, such as experience different parts of the world, such as go to different regions of the world to learn and study under certain people, I've been able to do some of these things, and it's helped me to evolve in my being, evolve in my consciousness, to where it's not just about business and making money, but it's more so about, evolution of my own consciousness, evolution of my soul, and also sharing parts of that enlightenment so others can evolve, not only when it comes to economics, but also evolve when it comes to their soul and their consciousness as well. So now I'm in a totally different state. I'm the same Michael, but I'm just more evolved, if you will. And I would say those are some of the differences from where I was versus where I'm at now. And where I'm at now is I'm just in a space of, like, I really, really want to help people, and not just help them for the sake of helping them, but help them accomplish their goal that they're after, and then help their soul, help their inner consciousness to move towards what's really real. And, I don't want to share too much, but I'll just stop right there, and I'll just say, those are the ways that I'm helping people on a deeper level now.
And in reflecting on that version of yourself then, and where you are now, and it's been a journey, right? Do you think
Yes.
that you would have been able to seek that other version of yourself, like spiritually, if you had been that same person trying to find an answer to pay your bills?
No way. Not at all. That person was seeking a way to make money to solve his problems, right? Whereas this person now is seeking a way to solve the bigger matrix, the bigger problem with this matrix that we're all living in, on a conscious level. So I would say those are two different individuals who are after two different things.
But do you feel like it's related? So when you look at entrepreneurs today, some starting their journey, some in the middle of their journey, and some that have found success, do you feel like, now that you're on this end of it, that having that consciousness in the beginning would have made you or propel you faster? It would have helped you? Or do you feel like you need to get the financial stability first and then go on that journey?
Great question. I think it would have helped me a lot more, just because part of the consciousness includes being able to do things that they call manifest, right? Which is basically turning your thoughts into reality. Had I had this level of consciousness back then, I just would have made things appear a lot faster. That would be the main difference. However, even back then, I was on a path of, I was on that path back then. And I would say I started my journey into consciousness in 2008. And I started my journey into online marketing officially in 2010. So yeah, if that answers your question.
Yeah. I've always had this question. And I think after we first spoke, I was like, the question I always want to ask, with athletes, right? Primarily, it's so much easier for you to get in the zone, right? To be present in the moment and deliver results for your team, deliver results for yourself. But not being an athlete, getting the training, it's very hard to get in the zone. Even as an entrepreneur, get in the zone, produce the results, and see things to the end. Like, I want to find out that conditioning that you get. Is it that they speak to you like, hey, listen, you need to put your thoughts this way? Or what does that training actually look like?
From the athlete side or from the
From the
business
athlete side, like being able to use your mind and get in the zone, because I'm sure it helps.
Yes. So I'll share, just some of my tips, if you will. And for the people out there listening, I do want to express this because I believe it's important to know what level of an athlete I was. I did play professional basketball in Thailand. I did become the #1 leading scorer and the #1 leading rebounder in the entire country. Finished in top 10 for every category. I was MVP in college and Sportsman of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year, and made all tournament offense and defensive teams. So I'm speaking not from just a regular athlete, but more so of like an elite athlete, if you will, just, humbly as I can say that. What it is that I do is I take the end result that I'm after, right? So if the end result is build a website page, if the end result is make a social media post, if the end result is send out an email or send out a text message, right? Marketing my products or services, I will envision the end result being successful, being completed. I will imagine the feelings of how does it feel now that this person responded. They responded to me positively. They've accepted my offer. They've paid the invoice, right? I can see that the money has now transferred to my account. The person on the other side, they are happy with their purchase, right? And everything's done. It's already done. It's finished. It's finished now. I will get into that feeling of, oh, it feels so good. Oh, I feel relieved. Oh, I feel joy. Oh, I feel happy. I just get into the feeling state of it. So I'll get into the visual. I'll get into the feeling state. I'll smell what it smells like. This room smells like cherries, whatever it smells like, or it smells like whatever you'd want to imagine. Okay. So I'll imagine what it smells like. I'll imagine, what am I tasting? All right. I just closed a deal, or I sent the email. I sent the text message. I can taste a sip of coconut water that I just drank. I can taste it while I'm in the moment, right? When the deal's closed. I'll also utilize my sense of hearing. So I'll imagine, what does this sound like? Man, I can hear the birds chirping outside. I can hear the air conditioning running in the background. There's traffic passing by in the afternoon as I've closed this deal, and I imagine what it sounds like when I'm in that moment. And then what I'll also do is I'll imagine, what does the environment feel like? I can feel my arms on the desk. I can feel my fingers typing on the keyboard. I feel the tile floor under my feet. I feel the chair that I'm sitting on, right? I feel it against my legs and my back. And I go through that feeling process. And then one of the things that I also do is I imagine, what am I thinking? Like, what is that version, that future self? I mean, which is really now, because now is all that exists. But what is that version of me thinking now, right? Like, so I imagine that version of me that has sent the email, sent the text message, closed the deal. He's thinking about how good he feels and how he's happy that he's making progress with his business, right? He's accomplishing his goals. So that's what he's thinking about. So I'll go through all of these senses, right? And I'll go through all 7 of these different, touch, taste, sight. Okay, I'll visualize, what am I seeing, right? So I'm looking at the email with the invoice paid, right? I'm looking around. I can see the walls. I can see the computer, right? So I'll visualize and use all of these senses, if you will, and create that entire scenario in my mind. And then what I like to do is, and this works extremely well. I teach this to my clients. It's worked for many, many years. It works for me maybe about 99% of the time for me, right? Because I've been using it for so much. I'll take that one scene and I'll just replay it over and 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 over at least 45 times. I'll replay that one scene as many times as 45 times, because something happens when you utilize the mind in this way. 45 is a very magical number. I won't go too deep into that process now. However, what I will say is this: the way our thoughts work. Okay, scientists. There's a book by Dr. Joe Dispenza called "Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself." Phenomenal book. Highly recommend everyone out there go read it if you can. But in this book called "Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself," Dr. Joe Dispenza explains how thoughts and matter exist in the subatomic realm, or the realm of chaos, or the unseen, the invisible world, the quantum world, right? And so the way it works in the quantum world is that a thought is energy, okay? And matter is the result of thoughts condensing and bringing energy together. And when that energy comes together, it forms into matter in the quantum world, right? And what happens is that when a thought comes together so many times in the quantum world, it begins to become harder and harder and harder and harder. In the quantum world, it becomes what's called crystalline, right? It becomes crystallized. So that crystallized thought gets harder and it becomes matter. And what happens is that the crystallized thought or the crystallized matter, it will literally drop from the quantum realm, right? From the or the subatomic realm, it'll drop to the atomic or the atom realm, and then it will drop down from the atomic realm or atoms, right, to the molecular. It'll drop to the molecular level, then the cellular, then eventually it would manifest before your eyes into reality. And this is not something that Dr. Joe Dispenza discovered, but this is something that, you know, the ancient cultures of the world, ancient Egypt, and many other ancient societies, they knew this information, but it's been lost amongst, you know, many years, and, you know, of all of the distractions we have now today. But nevertheless, this is what I utilize not only as an athlete, but also as a practitioner of this mental, these mental modalities to bring about results for myself and my clients. And that's why my clients have gotten great results, and I get really positive results because I utilized strategies like what I just shared today. And I really hope that was helpful for somebody out there today. Did that answer your question?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And you know, I'm going to dive in, right? Okay.
Okay, let's do
it. So I know you were coaching before, right? So you had your coaching program going and you're teaching all the things. I know you weren't teaching this specific thing, maybe a version of it. But now that you are coaching again, but in a different capacity, how do you feel like your clients are now getting results on the opposite end now that you're incorporating this aspect into it? Do you feel like they're getting results faster? Do you feel like they're hesitant because they're like, I'm not into this woo-woo foolishness, like or like, you know, what's the feedback?
You know, I was doing coaching to answer, and I'm gonna answer your question. But I was doing coaching for many years, and I'll be quite frank. I had maybe about a 75% success rate, where about 75% of people were getting results. Some people didn't, and it really frustrated me because I want 100% of the people to get results. But you know, that's not, you know, we can't all have a perfect world. So what I started to do more of is I took a step back from coaching. And I started doing just more one-on-one consulting, one-on-one coaching. And I have been working with clients on a private level, right? And I've been sharing some of this high-level information, this hidden information with these clients. And I will just say that I have seen some of the craziest results from these people, whether it be and it's not all just business. Sometimes it's that their wife doesn't argue anymore, and their wife is super pleasant, and they have a transformed relationship. You know, other times it could be that their son, who is like not talkative, not active, he's open again, and he's like super loving to the mother, and he wants to do more of his dreams, and him and his mother have a great relationship now because the mother used certain, you know, technologies and methods that I shared with her and taught her, right? And there's even this one client of mine who, you know, we mastermind, and he shared something incredible that, hey, he was like, hey, look, dude, like, you gave me this right here at the beginning of the year, and I didn't tell you, but I took action on it, and boom, I had 100K come through from a deal that I did, you know, following what you shared with me. And I'm just like, oh, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready now. I'm ready to take this information and not only just teach people the business, but now teach people more of a more of like a scientific approach to using the mind, to using like what's inside the inner world, the invisible world, using that part of themselves, which we are all connected to, using that to bring about whatever results they desire. So now what I will say is that what's different now is that I have been able to use my mind to get better results in my life. I have been able to use my mind to get transformational results in my own life. I have evolved, and I've been sharing it with a few people. It's just like to test to see if this information works, and the results are incredible. They're far better than what I was doing before, and that is why I'm now getting back out to, you know, coach more people, open up my coaching program to help more people, because I got some stuff that goes far beyond just only business and making money. It's more so about like becoming more complete as a being and doing the work that we were supposed to do before we got distracted by all the distractions here on earth.
Oh, so I'm going to stop you. I'm going to stop you right there. So we're talking about distractions, right? 90% of the problems I find that clients have is that they get distracted with other things, right? The things that they have to do. And it could be the fact that they spend half an hour on their phone scrolling and not posting or something else. How do you handle that distraction for yourself? And how do you handle that distraction for others? Is it that you stay off social media? Like, what do you do? What are some techniques you teach people? And what do you do in your own practice?
Absolutely. At first, I'll start with myself because I'm the best example that I can give. What I do is I make a list of all my distractions, everything that distracts me. I'm like, nope, that distracts me. That distracts me. That distracts me. That distracts me. That, I like that, but that distracts me too. You know, like, I like that. I really like that, but it distracts me. So what I do is I give myself almost like a reward system, you know. When you, I don't have any kids that I know of, but I don't have any kids anyway. So I can't really say that I do the parenting thing to a child, but I parent myself now, you know? And so when we were kids, you know, your mom or your dad, they said, clean the room, you know, wash the dishes, take out the trash. And then we let you go hang out with your friends. But as adults, we stopped doing that to ourselves, right? Mm. So what I've learned is, you know, to take the distractions that I enjoy and cut them off until I complete certain tasks, right? And then when I complete certain tasks, I give myself a window to enjoy my distractions, whatever they may be, whether it's going out, hanging out with friends, you know, going to meet up with people socially, right? To just hang out and shoot the breeze, so to speak. Or whether it be watching Netflix, watching movies, you know what I mean? Things like that. Or even scrolling on social media, right? Because I'm human, I'm not perfect. But what I do is I take those distractions and I recognize, okay, this is a distraction, this is a distraction, this is a distraction. I will now give myself the chance to access these distractions once I complete this task. And when I complete the task, I eat the little distraction like a piece of chocolate, right? And then it motivates me to now get back on track, do what I got to do so I can go enjoy my little distraction, and then get back on track, do what I got to do so I can, you know, that's kind of the system that I set up for myself. And I've been finding that it works extremely well because it allows me to have balance rather than just like cutting off cold turkey, all the distractions. No, like get the things done and then give myself a little bit of distraction as a reward, right? And so when it comes to other clients and other people, things that I share now is it's really tough for people. But I always say, you know, the most important thing to do in the beginning is find all the distractions, figure out what are all your distractions, you know, list them out, and then it sounds very harsh, but cut them out. Just cut them out for a month, cut them out for a week.
Discipline? Come on now.
wait, say it again.
Are you talking about discipline? That's what that sounds like. Discipline.
Yes, it is discipline. But the thing is, you don't have to be disciplined forever. You know, if you cut it off for a week, cut it off for a month, and then reintroduce it as a reward system where you do the thing, reward yourself with a little distraction, like a little piece of chocolate, and then go back to it for a week. And then after a week, 1 hour or 1 day of distraction, then go back to it for a week. And so that's kind of the system that I share with clients, and it's very helpful. However, we're all human. We all, you know, make mistakes, and we're creatures of habit.
Right.
So really it's about teaching people how to break their habits that they have that are not leading them to their results, create new habits, right? And then when you create new habits, then reward yourself for creating these new habits and staying disciplined. Like you said, staying disciplined on your new habits.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's 90% of this entrepreneurial journey we're all on, right? It's just having the discipline, stay focused to complete the task that you set out to do. Like, that's it.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Whether it be this podcast, you know, putting it out, you know, making sure to show up, you know, everything that we do, it's discipline. You know, I want to ask, what have you found has been your greatest challenge in this entire journey?
Wow. My greatest challenge has been the man in the mirror. That's been the greatest challenge because every time I look at him, he's like, wait, what are you doing? Why are we not playing basketball? What are you doing? We just a kid from South Miami. What are you doing? Who do you think you are? Like you grew up with a single mom, teenage mom, while your dad was in prison. Who do you think you are? What are you doing? Nobody's going to invest in you. You like nobody believes in you where you're from. What are you doing? Like nobody cares about you. Like what do you, like who do you think you are? So like that's my biggest challenge, is facing the old versions of myself and recognizing that, hey, look, I'm going towards that. I'm going towards becoming this version of myself, right? I'm working towards this vision of who I can be. And everything that I was before wants me to go back to that because it's comfortable, right? It's comfort zones. And it's being uncomfortable by going to this new version of myself means I have to release these old versions of me. But even though I release them, so to speak, on a mental level, right? They still exist inside of me. So every time I look in the mirror, that's my biggest challenge is doing my best to be better today or be greater today than I was yesterday. And every time I look at the mirror, the man from yesterday, he's in the mirror. So I would say that's my biggest challenge.
Wow. And I think that's a lot of people's challenge, always fighting the inner demons. You're always fighting yourself to be and show up. What were you going to say?
And I want to say this, when you say inner demons, when I hear it, I want to, this is something that I did many years ago. I recognize I have these inner demons, right? And I understand that we are both angelic and demonic, if you want to put it that way, right? But we are light and dark. You are half male, half female, half your mom, half your dad. You know what I mean? We are both sides. So what I learned to do is this, that those inner demons that you mentioned, rather than be afraid, oh, it's so scary. It's like, no, like sometimes you're lazy, right? Sometimes you curse people out. You know what I mean? Sometimes you this is everybody. Everybody gets like that sometimes. Those will be quote unquote the demons, right? Mm-hmm. So those parts of yourself are just the dark parts of yourself. And what I've learned how to do is go do the shadow work, right? To take those dark parts of yourself and integrate them, not integrate them to become demonic or like to kill people or nothing crazy like that, but integrate them so that way they give you power, they give you energy, and shine light on those parts of yourself. Give love to that part of yourself, give forgiveness, give grace to those parts of yourself, right? And then when you integrate them, then you become whole, you become complete, and you don't need anybody else to complete you, right? Because you got both sides of yourself working together in unison. And when you have that, you like everything unlocks for you, So I've learned that those inner demons, even though they can have negative connotations and qualities, they actually give you power. If you shine light on them, give love to them and integrate them to your positive goals and aspirations, they can absolutely give you power. So I just wanted to speak on that because I've done that. I've done a lot of shadow work, and a lot of shadow work does involve going to that dark, unseen self, the self you don't want to put out on camera. You don't want to put in the public, like you're ashamed of, like, oh, I don't want people to know I do this. But like that part of you has so much power. And when you integrate it with the light part, like I said, it creates wholeness and balance within.
Yeah. And I just want to speak to that. So on this podcast, we've had like quite a few people. I've interviewed, at least over 30 people so far. And I will say this. Thank you. I will say this. Every single time we meet and we speak before, it's a different version of that person. As soon as the recording is off, it's a different version of that person. And that version of that person that I see every time is often better than the version of the person that is shown on camera. And it's crazy. It's like, you hear people say, well, you really don't know me. And it's true. The version that we see on film is not really the version, because so many people are afraid to just show up authentically because they don't want to be judged. Maybe they don't like that version of themselves. Maybe they don't want to hear, someone talking about that version. But it doesn't mean that version is a bad version. It just means that that's another version of you. And I like that you said that, when you do incorporate both sides, it makes the best version. I love that, and it's hard. It is a hard thing for people to grasp, that in becoming your best self, you have to become your best self.
Yes. And that's, you know, that's something I used to struggle with for a long time, not even gonna lie, where I would you know, show up a certain way and just like, oh, I want to make people think I'm this and that. But then I realized, like, no, like, I'm lying to myself. I'm not even, like, it doesn't matter to people. I'm lying to
Right.
me. So let me just show up and just keep it real. Keep it. Look, this is who I am. This is what it is. It's not pretty. It's not all beautiful. The good, the bad, the ugly, all parts of it, I own it because that is me. It is who I am. It's my story. It's me. And I've noticed and learned that once I started doing that, it just became, look, just show up and be myself, do me, do my thing, and then people receive that better, and then I get better results from it. And the people that come to me and want to work with me because of it, they get better results from it. They
Right.
get transformation from it because they're like, yo, you showed up as authentic. You know, you was talking about this dark stuff and this light stuff and all this crazy stuff, but like, I gravitate with that because that's real versus like, oh, you know, you know, that ain't, we tired of that. Everybody's tired of that. You know, you can look at Donald Trump for that, or Joe Biden for that, or, you know, Kamala had, you know, and no disrespect to them, but I'm just saying, like when it comes to, you know, this day and this time, authenticity is key. And also not being afraid to go to those dark places, because we all have that. We all have those dark spots in us, and I believe that shining light on the darkness is the. I mean, light comes from the darkness, you know. But I just believe that when we shine that light and shine that love on those dark parts of ourselves and integrate them, we just become so much more whole, and it makes a better experience for us and those we care about, those we impact, those we work with, our clients, family, all of that good stuff. And you know, to your point, how you said, you know, on camera, off camera, I do my best to just show up and just be me. You know what I mean? So like when I turn the camera off, yeah, I'll say more stuff. You know what I mean? I may be a little more loose and with my wordplay or whatever, but also understand, like, this is also a part of the job, right? You want to present yourself a certain way. You have to put information out there where everybody of any culture, any race, any religion can understand it. So that is very important. However, I do believe authenticity is key in these days and times.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And you know, again, it's sometimes working through trauma too, right? So sometimes we don't show up as that version because something happened to that version of the person, you know? So that's another thing that I've learned throughout the time is that, you know, trauma is real. Or not so much. It's a story that we tell ourselves. So I'm learning not to. But I definitely enjoy our conversation. I enjoy the fact that you're integrating this into what you're doing, because so many people need it on so many levels. You know, you can tell someone to go and do something, but if they don't, or they don't have the discipline to go do it, right? They're getting in their own way mentally because they're overthinking and putting themselves down. They'll never get to the point that they're trying to get to. And I see that daily. So tell us, where are you located and what are you working on? How do people get a hold of you?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now, you can find me. I'm on social media, on Facebook, Mr. Michael Baptiste. You just type that in, you'll find me. I'm on Instagram, Mike_Baptiste on Instagram. On TikTok, Mike_Baptiste. On YouTube, Michael Baptiste. You can find me there as well. Yeah, so Threads, Mike_Baptiste on Threads as well. And then so you know what I'm up to right now. So we have a few things that we're doing. We do have the agency side of the business where we offer agency services. So I'm actually working with different clients right now on AI projects, whether that be AI avatars, whether that be customized AI software for their business, or even whether that be AI phone agents, whether it's like a phone agent that calls. It does sales calls. It does cold outreach. It does follow-up calls with your customers. It does customer service calls. People can call your business and it'll answer and redirect them to a certain department for you. So we're building things like that for clients. We're doing lead generation for clients. So B2B, not necessarily B2B, meaning business to business.
Right.
For those who, so we're doing B2B lead generation like that and generating thousands of leads for, you know, our companies that we work with. We're also doing just digital marketing for clients on the agency side, right? But on the other side with the coaching, like I said, I'm getting started. You know, we're cranking and gearing back up with the coaching side of things. I've actually partnered with an accountability company where they have an accountability system and an entire group, you know, to hold you accountable. So, you know, on one side, I'll coach you, teach you what to do, and on the other side, you know, there's this company that we've partnered with. and they will actually hold you accountable. Spreadsheets, trackers. They got an app. They got all that great stuff to just make sure you're staying accountable, for what you said you would do when working with me in our coaching program. So we're working in tandem together to help people get greater results. And so on the coaching side, that's what I'm doing there. Teaching people how to take their ideas, knowledge, life experience, and package it into high ticket offers and services, promote it to the world, get paid to share it, and be able to profit from it, and then set up a business where they can live a life on their own terms and travel or do whatever they want to do because they want to do it. That's what we do inside of our program. High Ticket Freedom is the original name of the program, and we are now just making it greater, so to speak. And right now, where I'm currently located at, I'm located in Thailand. So yeah, located in Thailand. I've been traveling the world since 2015 through my online business. We're living in different countries, whether it be Thailand, Portugal, Colombia, Malaysia, Laos. Just really being able to explore the world and based on the life that I wanted to live, being able to do that. And so if you want to learn more about me, learn more about our coaching program, one of our websites you can check out is highticketfreedom.com. You can go there, learn about what we do. We also have an updated website called Be Greater Academy. You can check us out there at Be Greater Academy. And if you'd like to learn more about our agency services, you can check out begreatermedia.com. Okay, those are a couple of different websites we have for just different services and solutions that we offer. And I will say this: where I'm at now is, I'm in a space where. And you and I spoke before, and I said I wouldn't say too much about this, but I believe it's, let me just put it out there, right? There's an ancient book called the Tibetan Book of the Dead, right? And this is a very ancient book, has some very, very ancient information in there. And one of the things that this book shares is that the man's first level of enlightenment is when man realized all the world is an illusion, right? So some of the things that I have been doing with my client is I've been teaching some real ancient science, some real ancient wisdom, ancient truths about how this world is an illusion, so to speak, a matrix, right? Demiurge, Maya, right? All those different terms for the same thing, samadhi. How to make this illusion work for you, and how to take your mind and create your reality as you see fit. And just master yourself within this reality. So that's where I'm at, is I'm on that path of mastering self. And I have been sharing that with clients of how to get started on your own journey to master yourself. So that way you master your reality and you create anything you desire, within human limits, right? Or maybe no limits, but like how to create what you desire within your reality. So that's where I'm at. And for anybody who wants to reach out to me, you have my social media. You can find me on my websites. Book a time to speak with me. I'm happy to help and share, see how I can serve you. And if I can't serve you, I'll tell you and I'll recommend you to a person who can. But, either way, it's all love. And thank you for allowing me to share.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, it's a pleasure speaking with you. And I want you to leave some parting information, knowledge, tips for the starting, middle, or entrepreneur that's on that journey, right? What is the most important either lesson or something that you can give them to help to propel them?
Yes, absolutely. So I'll give you a few keys, so to speak, before we get out of here. The first key is find a guide. I don't like to say mentor, because that has so many different connotations to it. A coach, all right, that's cool. But a guide is fantastic because a guide knows the way. They know the way and they can guide you. They can point you in the right direction. So that way you can walk on your own and you can get to your destination. You see what I'm saying? So find a guide, find somebody who can guide you on your journey to get to where you want to be. It could be me. It could be Kessie. It could be, Les Brown. It could be somebody, Ann McNeil. It could be somebody out there in this world that has the results that you're after and they have the life that you desire. And you want to get there, right? And they know the way. Find them, work with them, and pay the money, pay the time, pay the energy. Do what you got to do. A lot of my success, my breakthrough success, it came because I had guides. I had people to guide me along my journey to say, hey, go this way. Hey, go that way. No, go back. Hey, turn left. Hey, you went too far. Come over here. That is a big part of my success. And I give a lot of credit to those people who helped me along my journey. So that's the first thing I'll share is find a guide. And they could be in a book, in a podcast, they could be on a YouTube video. They don't have to be always a physical person in person. They could be long and dead, but all their books guide you along how to get to where you want to go. So that's the first thing I'll share. The second thing I'll share is, as human beings, we will do more to escape pain than we will to get to pleasure. As human beings, we will do more to escape pain than we will to get to pleasure. As human beings, we will do more to escape pain than we will to get to pleasure. So if you're not where you want to be right now, I highly recommend make a list of all of the pain, all of the things that hurt, whether it be what they said to you, whether it be that non-supportive relative or sibling or family member or whoever, whether it be the people who didn't let you in the club or the group or the social thing, whatever, right? Or whether it be the ex-husband or the ex-wife or the ex-girlfriend or the ex-lover who said this and that to you, you know, or didn't do this and disappointed you, or whether it be the teacher who said something to you in school or the coach or the whatever. Make a list of all that pain. And then when you look at that pain, anytime you want to give up, remember that list. Remember that pain. Remember all of this hurt, right? And that hurt will push you to reach your goal faster than if you say, oh, I want to make $1 million. I want a new car. I want a house. It won't push you as much. It just won't. Maybe for some people it will, but I have seen better results for myself and my clients when they recognize the pain that they want to get away from. Like that will fire them up more than the pleasure that they want to get to. So for you as a starting entrepreneur, midway or already successful, remember that pain and use it. For me as a basketball player who made it to the professional level and became a top athlete in the professional leagues in another country, one of the things I would always remember, I remember this kid. He when I was in high school, getting ready to play junior varsity, or trying to make the team. I remember he came up to me and he saw me, right? And he looked at me and he said something to me and it made me want to cry. And I was like, I'm gonna show you. And I never talked to the kid again, right? But I remember I would always think about him in the gym. And another time, there was another guy. He said something to me. He was like, "Aren't you too old to play professional?" Ooh. And when he said that, I was like, I'll show you who's too old. And I ended up getting drafted at 30 years old and played professional and killed it. And then after this is petty. All right, this is petty. I'm gonna just tell y'all, this is petty. This is very petty. But after I played in the league and did all this stuff and great stuff, I came and I saw him again and I went up to him and I said, I got drafted. I became number one. I did this. I did that. I won a championship. I did this. I did this. I did this. Don't be careful who you talk to because you never know you never know who you're talking to. And that was it. Mm-hmm. I walked away. And he was like, "Oh, sorry, dude. I apologize." And I was like, "Oh, well, all right." That was petty, but I just share that because in basketball, those are ways that I've used the pain, and I've shared that with many of my clients. I'm like, hey, you hate your living situation. Hey, you're afraid of this. You don't want this to happen. You don't want this to take place. Use that pain to push you forward, to push you to greatness. So that's a second one that I'll share that really helped me. I know that basketball one was a very petty story. Yes, I know. But
it got you from where you were to where you needed to be. So
absolutely. And then this is the last one I'll share, just with respect for the time of the show in this episode. The last thing I'll share is, as an entrepreneur, you have to become delusional about your success. Not delusional to the point where your survival is threatened. I mean, which you can totally do that. I did it, but I don't recommend it if you don't have to. But become delusional about your success. Just put yourself in a space where you are willing to do anything to succeed and make the vision a reality within reason and within your moral codes. If you know anything about moral codes or ethics or whatever, but like anything within morality and ethics and within the law, be delusional that you're going to do anything, no matter what it takes, in order to succeed. and you don't care what anybody thinks about you. You don't care what anybody's opinion is about you. You don't care what family, loved ones, like, and if they don't support you, it's probably best to just distance yourself for a little bit until you get what you're after, and then go back around those people, right? But being delusional is one of my keys to success, and it's not delusional from a childish perspective, but more of a systematic a systematic approach where you're guided on a certain pathway, a certain journey that requires you to take certain steps. And if you lose track, lose focus, right, because you're thinking about something else, or you want to go that way, then you get off the path, and you lower your chances of success. Whereas if you become delusional to say, I already see myself at the top of the stairs, I see myself at the top of the mountain, I see myself being able to have XYZ in my life. I see myself being able to provide better for my family. I see myself being able to say, hey, I did it, and look at me. Like being that type of delusional while following a system, while being guided up a certain path towards success. That's one of the biggest things. Is like using your mind, right? Using your mind to project the reality you desire, to create this version of yourself, and always only focus on that version, believe you are that version, and take the action steps and be disciplined with your action steps every single day. Be disciplined with that action towards your delusion, towards that vision of yourself. And if you do it for long enough, eventually it will manifest into reality, because these are the laws of this world that we live in. Just like if you plant a seed in the ground and water it every day, a bush grows, and that bush turns into a small, a taller bush, and it grows into a tree, and that tree begins to drop fruit. And those fruit, you can eat them, and it nourishes you, and people can survive and live because of that fruit. But it all began with the person that planted that seed and watered it every day and were delusional, recognizing that this seed will grow into a tree. So you, my friend, beloved, wherever you're at around the world, be delusional about your success. Take the seed of who you desire and dream to be, plant it in your mind every day, water it by thinking about it, feeling about it, going through those senses that I mentioned earlier about it, and then taking action consistently in a systematic way, and having a guide to guide you along the journey, and you will achieve whatever it is that you set in your mind and the seeds that you water in your mind. And like my granddaddy used to say, the grass ain't greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it. So water your grass every day. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to share.
Thank you so much. That was amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I know everyone will get a ton of value from this. Thanks again. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you for tuning into today's episode of Entrepreneurial Truth. One tool that I can truly recommend on how you can organize and execute systems is Notion. Notion allows you to seamlessly get information out of your head and into a centralized, organized space. Whether it's documenting processes, managing projects, or brainstorming ideas, Notion can be your go-to platform. As a special offer to our listeners, you can get started with Notion using the link in the episode description. By using our affiliate link, you not only support our podcast, but also gain access to free templates designed to kickstart your journey with Notion. These templates are specifically crafted to help entrepreneurs streamline their workflows and boost productivity. To take advantage of this offer, simply visit the affiliate link below to sign up and explore the free templates available in the resource section. Whether you're a solopreneur, managing a team, Notion can be the game changer you've been looking for. Stay tuned for more episodes where we dive deep into strategies, tools that can empower you as an entrepreneur. And don't forget to subscribe to Entrepreneurial Truth so you never miss an episode filled with actionable advice and insights. Thank you once again for joining us today. Until next time, keep innovating and scaling your business with purpose. Thanks again.